No, seriously. We're not talking about grumbling on Reddit or passive-aggressive tweets. We're talking boycotts, empty seats, fans showing up to tailgates with "Start Shedeur" or "Sell the team" signs. It's giving revolution energy, and the spark that lit the whole thing? A rookie quarterback with 0 NFL starts. That's right, 0. Shedeur Sanders has never taken a real snap in the NFL, and yet somehow he's already the most polarizing figure in Cleveland. And honestly, it's not even his fault. He's not the one who lit the match. He's just a name everyone's writing on their protest signs. The symbol, the flashpoint, the hope. If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed. This all started when the Browns traded away Kenny Pickett, a move that, on the surface, felt routine. A cleanup job, a way to make space on a crowded depth chart. You've got Joe Flacco, you've got Dylan Gabriel, you've got Shedeur Sanders. Someone had to go, but when the dust settled, fans weren't talking about Pickett. They were talking about the guys still buried on the bench. Why isn't Shedeur starting? Why is the most exciting player on the roster still holding a clipboard, while ratings nosedive and energy flatlines? And now, it's not just a talking point. It's a crisis. Because fans aren't just asking for Shedeur anymore. They're demanding him. And the Browns? They're running out of excuses. Let's be clear. Shedeur isn't some under-the-radar rookie people just discovered. He's a phenomenon. He's breaking jersey sale records. He's dominating practice with highlight reel throws and pre-snap command. He's being cheered louder in warm-ups than the actual starting quarterback. Every time he steps onto the field, even in a red jersey and sweatpants, the stadium buzzes like it's 3rd and goal in a playoff game. But the team? Still sitting on him. Still playing it safe. And fans? Have had it. Enter the boycott. Yes, an actual organized fan movement is brewing. Not out of hate, but out of sheer frustration. Browns fans are some of the most loyal in the NFL. We're talking decades of heartbreak. Years of building false hope on shaky quarterbacks and toothless systems. And now, when the team finally has something fresh, something electric, something that could change the entire energy of the franchise, they're hesitating? What are we doing here? The whole stadium can feel it. Every time the offense stalls. Every time Gabriel checks down on 3rd and long. Every time Flacco throws a "please God don't break me" pass into triple coverage. The tension is unbearable. People aren't yelling bad play. They're yelling, "Put in Shedeur." And don't get it twisted. This isn't just hype. This is pressure. This is business. Shedeur is a quarterback, a brand, and a cultural moment all rolled into one. We're talking $250 million in merchandise sold without a single NFL snap. His training camp clips do better numbers than entire games. NFL memes? He's in them. Not for screwing up, but for not being played. And then there's Travis Kelce. Yes, that Travis Kelce. Super Bowl champ. Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Arguably the most relevant non-QB in the NFL right now. And he's out here publicly saying, "Start Shedeur." Not in code. Not with subtlety. Straight up endorsement. On camera. For everyone to hear. You can't buy that kind of PR. The Browns got handed to them. And still, they're fumbling the bag. Because head coach Kevin Stefanski, he's doing what Kevin Stefanski always does. Sticking to his system. Playing the game like it's 2018. Conservative play calling. Measured decisions. Caution over chaos. And usually, that's fine. Safe. Respectable. But right now, it's a buzzkill. A liability. Because the game has changed. Fans don't just want wins. They want juice. They want excitement, unpredictability, hope. And Shedeur Sanders is all of that in one neat, marketable, cannon-arm package. He's not just a football player. He's a movement. And by sitting him on the bench, the Browns aren't just making a coaching decision. They're putting a lid on their entire identity. And that's the real problem. Because this isn't just about who gives you the best shot to win on Sunday. This is about what kind of franchise you want to be. Do you want to be the team that waits until it's safe to innovate? Or Do you want to be the team that says, "We believe in our guy"? Let's go. Right now, Cleveland is choosing the former, and it's costing them fans momentum and, let's be honest, relevance. While other teams are embracing chaos and leaning into youth and upside, the Browns are out here trying to grind out 17 to 13 wins with quarterbacks who peak at efficient. It's like watching someone use a flip phone in the middle of an Apple store. Meanwhile, Shedeur is sitting there on the sideline, helmet in hand, watching a city beg for him to take over. And the longer the Browns wait, the uglier this gets. Because eventually, this stops being about Shedeur's development. Eventually, fans stop asking one and start yelling, "Why not?" Eventually, Stefanski stops looking like a cautious planner and starts looking like a guy afraid of change. And that's where we are now. The Browns have backed themselves into a corner. Every game they lose without Shedeur under center becomes a referendum. Every close loss, every ugly win, every stagnant drive becomes fuel for fire. The people aren't just calling for Shedeur. They're ready to walk away if he doesn't play. That's unprecedented. That's panic-worthy. And that's the new reality for Cleveland. Because Shedeur isn't just the quarterback of the future. He's the heartbeat of the fan base now. The Browns might still have him listed third on the depth chart, but in the eyes of the city, he's already number one. The Browns can either ride that wave or drown under it, because this moment, this tension, this bizarre, beautiful, absurd standoff between a rookie's potential and a franchise's refusal to embrace it, it doesn't last forever. Eventually, it breaks. And the Browns are running out of time to make sure they're not the ones left behind in the wreckage. So what's the move? Start him. That's it. No gimmicks. No trick packages. No, he'll come in later this season hedge language. Just make the call. Because when your fans are literally threatening to boycott over your backup quarterback, it's no longer about football logic. It's about the soul of your team. Start Shedeur Sanders. Or start printing apology statements. Either way, we'll be watching. And if you've got thoughts, oh, we know you do, light up that comment section. Are the Browns blowing it? Is Shedeur overhyped? Or are we watching the future of football rot on the bench while the franchise stalls out? Drop your take. Vent, manifest, and make sure you're subscribed, because this firestorm isn't going anywhere. And when Shedeur does finally take that first snap, you better believe we'll be right here, breaking it all down frame by frame. Let's be clear, though, this whole Shedeur Sanders saga, this isn't just a quarterback controversy. This is a fan base revolt, a full-blown uprising. And you can feel it in every corner of Cleveland. The energy's different. The usual grumbling has turned into unified chants. Season ticket holders are canceling renewals. The team store is flooded with custom Sanders gear, but you'd be lucky to spot a Dylan Gabriel jersey out in the wild. Social media is a battlefield. Comment sections flooded with free Shedeur demands and hashtag Start Sanders style posts. Even if we're not using hashtags here, don't pretend they aren't real. The Browns might still think they're in control, but spoiler alert, they've already lost a narrative. Because the longer Shedeur sits, the more symbolic he becomes. He's not just a quarterback in waiting anymore. He's the promise of something new, something different, a departure from the years of mediocre, overly structured, slow-drip heartbreak. Browns fans have seen this show before, the patient approach, the safe option, the coach knows best routine, and they're done being polite about it. They want juice. They want swagger. They want a spark so bright it burns a fog off this perpetually confused franchise. And who better than a Sanders? I mean, come on. This man has the pedigree. He's not just a product of highlight reels and nil money. He's been forged in the spotlight. His college numbers were no joke. He operated under pressure every single week with the entire country watching, and he did it with control, intelligence, and a level poise that doesn't come standard in rookies. This isn't some hot-headed gunslinger with a rocket arm and no discipline. This is a calculated, steady, media-trained general who happens to also throw absolute lasers. And yet, here we are, watching him sit on the bench like at a JV scrimmage, and his big brother called dibs on starting quarterback. Why? Because Kevin Stefanski still thinks the best way to win games is to minimize risk, to play smart, run the ball, Dink and dunk. Trust the system. Buddy, you're not managing a hedge fund. You're coaching in a league where C.J. Stroud just lit up the AFC as a rookie, where Anthony Richardson was being fast-tracked before injury, where every other team is embracing bold quarterback play like it's the new holy gospel. And you're still out here treating Shedeur like a long-term mutual fund? Read the room. And while we're at it, read the numbers. Shedeur's presence alone is driving unprecedented engagement. The team's social metrics? Spiking every time he so much as smiles at the camera. Merch sales? Record-breaking. TV coverage? National outlets are talking about the third-string quarterback on a non-playoff team like he's the second coming of Patrick Mahomes. And look, sure, buzz doesn't win games, but it does win hearts. It does fill seats. It does keep sponsors happy and the brand relevant, especially for a team that's been scraping the barrel for positive attention for, well, most of the 21st century. Shedeur represents the first time in years that Browns fans have had a reason to be excited without squinting, and now the front office is staring down a terrifying, humiliating reality. If they don't start Shedeur soon, they might lose the fan base for good. Oh! They'll still tune in. They'll still post about it. They'll still rock the gear. But they won't believe. Not really. Because belief requires vision. And how are you supposed to believe in a franchise that refuses to ride the wave of the future, even when it's literally sitting on their bench? There's a word for this kind of mismanagement. It's not strategic. It's not developmental. It's tone deaf. Because you can't market Shedeur like he's the next big thing, flood your social channels with his every move, pump out graphics, sell out jerseys, and then pretend he's not ready to touch the field. It's disingenuous. It's insulting. And worst of all, it's boring. And boring is the one thing this franchise cannot afford to be right now. Let's talk about the elephant in the locker room. Dillon Gabriel. Nice guy. Great college resume. Clean footwork. Coachable. Safe. But the fan base has zero emotional investment in him. There's no spark. No upside conversation. No myth-making potential. He could throw for 220 and 2 touchdowns, and the crowd would still be whispering, yeah, but what if Shedeur was in? And Flacco? Respect to the vet. He came in, held it down, did his job. But he's not the future. He's a Band-Aid. A very useful, very humble Band-Aid. That's not shade, it's just truth. Everyone knows it, including Flacco. So what exactly are we doing here? Are the Browns really going to sit on the most exciting rookie quarterback in the league because he hasn't earned it the traditional way? Since when has anything about this team's history been traditional? Let's flip the question. What do you gain by waiting? You let Shedeur marinate on the bench. He watches. He learns. He adjusts. Fine. But you know what else he learns? That the team doesn't fully believe in him yet. That they're still trying to make something else work. Something safe, before turning the keys over. And that kind of half measure, that uncertainty, it infects a locker room. You think the wide receivers don't feel it? The defense? The fans? You think it doesn't mess with Shedeur's own rhythm? His own confidence? This isn't just about being ready. It's about being empowered. And when you're treated like a sideshow, it's hard to step in and run the circus. If you're going to make Shedeur your franchise guy, and all signs point to that being the plan, you can't hesitate. You have to commit. Because here's the truth. Shedeur isn't going to be perfect. He's going to throw bad passes. He's going to misread coverage. He's going to get sacked and flustered, and maybe even lose a few games. But that's how it works. That's how rookie QBs grow. You don't buy a sports car and then leave it in the garage while you Uber around in a Corolla. You drive the thing. You burn rubber. You take turns too fast and maybe get a ticket. That's the point. You learn by doing. And right now, the Browns are choosing to sit on horsepower for sake of process. Meanwhile, the fans are running out of patience. And if this doesn't change, if we get halfway through the season and Shedeur is still watching games with a headset on while the stadium fills with boos, it's not just Stefanski who's going to be in trouble. It's the entire culture. Because this isn't about one quarterback anymore. This is about the Browns deciding who they are. Are they a team clinging to outdated systems and scared of making the wrong move? Or are they ready to grab the future with both hands and little? The answer will define this season, this fan base, this era. So what'll it be, Cleveland? Are you going to give your fans the moment they've been begging for? Or are you going to bench your best chance at relevance, energy, and, dare we say it, greatness? Clock's ticking. And if Shedeur Sanders walks at the end of this contract because you were too scared to play him when it mattered, you'll regret it for the next 20 years. Just like all the other almosts. Let's pull back the curtain and really feel what's happening in Cleveland right now. Because this thing, it's no longer just a football situation. It's a full-blown identity crisis, stitched into the fabric of every jersey, screaming from every empty seat, echoing in every frustrated, "Why isn't Shedeur playing?" tweet. And it all hinges on one question. What do the Cleveland Browns stand for anymore? Is this still the scrappy underdog team clawing its way toward legitimacy with grit and perseverance? Or has it quietly transformed into something else, a risk-averse, overly scripted machine that's too scared of failure to take a shot at greatness? Because let's face it, keeping Shedeur Sanders on the bench is not a tactical decision anymore. It's an emotional one, a fearful one, a decision board of outdated logic that says rookies need time and we have to respect the process. But here's the cold, hard truth. The process hasn't worked. The Browns haven't been to the Super Bowl. They've barely been to playoffs. They've cycled through more quarterbacks than most teams have had winning seasons. They've had flashes of brilliance, sure, but no legacy, no sustained excellence, no moment that cemented them as a true contender. And now, with all eyes on Cleveland and the rare chance to rewrite the narrative with a quarterback who could actually move the needle, they're hesitating. Again, let's paint the picture. It's Sunday afternoon. The stadium is half full because thousands of fans are following through on their promise to boycott. No Shedeur, no ticket. It started as a joke on message boards. It's not a joke anymore. On the field, Dillon Gabriel is lining up under center. He looks fine, average, safe. A few completions here, a few punts there. The kind of game that gets you a 7-10 season and a polite, "We're evaluating our options" press conference in January. Meanwhile, Shedeur is standing 15 feet from the sideline, helmet on, arms folded, unreadable expression on his face. And the camera loves him. They cut to him after every failed third down. They pan across his face during every timeout like he's a dramatic twist we're all waiting for in a Netflix docuseries. Because he is. And the fans know it. They've watched the preseason clips. They've watched the practice tape. They've seen him drop dimes on a run, throw ropes into tight windows, lead simulated comebacks like he's been in the league for a decade. And still silence from the coaching staff. No change. No spark. Just more Gabriel, more checkdowns, more the same. And now, fans are pissed. Not just at the team, at the system. Because it's not just about football anymore. It's about refusal. A refusal to give people what they came for. A refusal to evolve. A refusal to say, hey, maybe this isn't working. Let's try something bold. Because let's be real, this whole fear of ruining a rookie by starting him too early, that doesn't hold up anymore. We're in the post-Patrick Mahomes, post-C.J. Stroud, post-Joe Burrow era. These guys come in, and if they've got it, they've got it. You don't sit on a Ferrari and say, let's give it 6 months before we take it out of the garage. You drive it. You unleash it. You find out what it can do. But Stefanski's still clutching the old manual. The one that says QBs need 2 years of seasoning. The one that prioritizes game management over risk-taking. The one that wins you games but never wins you seasons. And the fans? They're done waiting for it to work. They want the excitement back. They want the fire. They want a quarterback that makes them feel something, win or lose. Because yes, Shedeur might throw a pick. He might have a 3-interception game. He might even get sacked 8 times behind this Frankenstein offensive line and spend the first month scrambling for his life. But you know what else he might do? He might step in and electrify this offense. He might throw a 50-yard bomb to a streaking receiver in stride. He might rally the team in the fourth quarter and pull off a comeback so cinematic it breaks Twitter. He might, for the first time in forever, make Cleveland fun. And that, more than anything, is what fans are asking for. Not just wins. not just competence. Connection. Because Browns fans are tired of emotionally distancing themselves from their own team to avoid disappointment. They want to care again. They want to believe again. And Shedeur Sanders is that belief, packaged in cleats and a visor and absurd pocket presence. He's not just another draft pick. He's a line in the sand. And if the Browns don't realize that soon, they're not just going to lose games. They're going to lose their fans' trust. Because nothing hits harder than hope deferred. The what if that turns into we could have had it all. And every week Shedeur doesn't play, that what if grows louder. The media starts sharpening their knives. The highlight packages from practice become national talking points. Travis Kelce tweets another fire emoji under a Sanders clip, and suddenly everyone is asking the same thing. What is Cleveland waiting for? You want your fans back? Start Shedeur. You want national attention that isn't about dysfunction? Start Shedeur. You want to actually see what this kid is made of instead of just speculating on potential like it's a horoscope? Start Shedeur, because this right here, this moment of indecision, this is how legends are lost. Not by failure, but by inactivity. By sitting potential on the bench while the game moves on without you. So here's your choice, Browns. Do you want to be safe? Or do you want to be great? Do you want to play it slow? Or do you want to take the kind of swing that changes your legacy? The kind of swing that says, yeah, we might strike out, but we're done bunting for base hits. The fans are already ahead of you. They've chosen. They've picked their guy. They're organizing. They're marching. Not because they're angry, because they believe. And they're just waiting for you to do the same. So, Cleveland, clock's ticking. And if the next chapter of the story isn't Shedeur Sanders steps onto field to a standing ovation and never looks back, then the only thing your fans will be cheering for is a rebuild. Again. But hey, don't just take our word for it. If you've got opinions, you better be dropping them in the comments. Are the Browns being too cautious? Is Shedeur the real deal, or are fans jumping the gun? What's it going to take to see number 3 under center?